Hello, Facebook world. Welcome to Massage Intuition. I don't know if I'll need that. Welcome. Give folks a moment to join. Happy to have anyone and always appreciate your support and joining in on these. And you could always do it with us now, with me now, or at a more convenient time for yourself. So welcome to Massage Intuition Wellness Wednesdays. I think this is episode number 6 in season 1. I didn't think I'd get this far, so it's pretty exciting. Hope everyone is well, staying safe and busy, maybe returning to some open activities depending on where you live. I understand that that's happening in some locations. So wanted to wish you well on that. I don't know what the weather's like. It's gorgeous here today. So I was able to do some gardening and taking in of the sun, which is always a fantastic way to spend the day. Thank you again for following. It's always an interesting challenge each week to decide what are we going to work on next. Or we probably could have spent more time on something last time. And that is true. The body is just incredible. The amount of muscles that we have, the different circumstances that we deal with. So it's always something new and interesting. So this week I decided to focus on something in particular. And I think that I will focus on a couple of more specific areas. But this week we're going to focus on something that is known or has been kind of given a common name of tennis elbow. And I'll be happy to explain that. As always, I like to introduce myself. My name is Cindy Velez Mejia. I am a licensed massage therapist, and Massage Intuition and myself are centralized out of Oklahoma City. So that's where we're coming from. I have been enjoying very much giving live sessions and providing some self-massage techniques at a time where actual massage activity is either still prohibited or suggested against. So glad to be able to join in with you. So what we're going to do today is focus on something that's called tennis elbow. It actually achieved that name because of common pain or reoccurring pain in an area where because of this motion. So a lot of tennis players had that, right? Whatever was their dominant hand, the extensors, which are the muscles that run from your the lateral side of the elbow, actual location, the condyle, epicondyle, through down, it actually extends all the way to the finger, the third metacarpal, are used a lot. And often that motion is not always a fluid. Sometimes it's cut short. And so they extend a lot. Now, the truth is, even though it's called tennis elbow, it can affect anyone that does certain repeated work. Carpenters, it could be certain artwork, it could be weightlifting, and a certain motion that just causes those extensors. So if you were holding your arm this way and you kind of you hold your arm and extend it, those muscles all the way through when you flex that wrist. So there can be a lot of pain in the elbow, and it actually extends down, but because this is where it originates, that's where you really feel the pain. So we'll go over some modalities and some stretching that can hopefully help that, and some things that exercises we can do to help relax, because it's obviously not just one. Okay. Now, some can use these techniques with an oil or lotion. I'm a big fan. I really love Dr. Teal's eucalyptus and spearmint. There's shea moisture that I enjoy, coconut oil, jojoba oil. Some actually like the feeling of nothing on because they want to get a little bit deeper, and that's absolutely fine. You'll notice I have something to lean on here. You could also do this with just a pillow. lean a pillow on your arm and do these same exercises, okay? What you find with tennis elbow, or epicondylitis is the official term, is that it's usually dominant on one side. But to help just even out and alleviate any pain or pressure, you can do it on either side. And you really should do it on both to help kind of that even feeling. So we'll start with, I'm right hand dominant. So we'll start with the right hand if you'd like. And I'm just kind of resting this pillow either on myself or on a table, just so I have as much of a 90-degree angle as I can here. And I'm actually just going to find that joint that if I do this movement, I can feel where they meet. So I can feel the bones move, right? So I'm really at the elbow on the lateral side. And I will start just 2 fingers, could be 3, but usually 2. And I will do, if you've been watching for a while, circular motion on those. So I'm just doing some circular motion. I can do clockwise, and I can do counterclockwise to make sure I'm in the right spot. I can raise it a little bit, and actually this does a different angle as I raise a little bit. I actually feel some tension there. And counterclockwise, I could raise a little bit more and push in a little bit deeper. So if you can see, I'm actually applying a decent amount of pressure. It's not a superficial, right? So therapeutic massage is what I love to specialize in. It does apply some greater pressure. If it's easier to just leave it down, you can, and you just want to work a little bit deeper in, clockwise, counterclockwise. We're actually going to work our way up towards the wrist, if that's the right word, or towards the wrist. So circles all the way through, going towards the wrist. And I can feel, now if you feel an area that's more tender, for me actually right here is very, very tender, you can do some trigger point work here, right? So if you kind of feel a little bit of maybe a pea size, you can hold that in. So I'm adding even extra pressure. My thumb is anchored on the other side. So I'm adding even extra pressure, and I'm going to hold that for 15 seconds. And deep breath. And I hold that for 15 seconds and release it. And now keep working towards the wrist. Okay, so there's a little bit of trigger point work when we're trying to work that out. But and that point of tension or little pea size could be anywhere for you along this routine that we're doing. So we're really just working out the elbow, tennis elbow, but realizing that these muscles extend from the elbow through the arm, the extensors. So we circle all the way through until we get to the wrist. Okay, and I'm just, at this point I haven't even done any lotion because that heightens my ability to feel if there are trigger points. Okay, what you might find is that you feel some muscle that's a bit ropey here, and that could be an indication of some inflammation, some tension. So another really effective technique on this is to do what we call cross fiber. We've done it before. The muscles run this way, right? So if there were strings here, they actually are lines that are going this way. So I'm going to go across those lines, and I'm going to apply that same pressure. So I'm kind of doing a duckbill. I'm going to grip, and I'm going to apply that pressure down. Now in this exercise, I may actually get to the elbow, because I can go quite a bit deeper if I really lean into my pillow. Do you see how that forward motion of my body? My body is really the one adding that pressure. I can go out to 3 fingers and really push down. I'm sticking very much closer to the elbow and actually going deeper. I feel it really very much right here. Ropey, and I can feel that good ache. So I'm going to hold it 15 seconds and deep breathe. And continue that cross fiber all the way, that cross fiber down. Okay, so we've done it on one side. We want to go ahead and do that on the other side. So I can shake that out, cross again so that I have that 90-degree angle, and I'm going to start at that lateral side again. I can move my arm to make sure that I feel I'm in the right place. I'm doing circles, just the 2 fingers right now, and I'm applying pressure. So I'm not on the forearm. My arm is sideways, so the forearm is facing me, and I'm really just working those muscles that run along the top. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do those circles, and I'm pushing down. I want to add some therapeutic pressure, call circulation here, and we're going to do that all the way down. Excellent. And up, and again, if I feel something ropey, or perhaps something like a P, which I have right here, same spot, I'm going to add extra pressure, so push a little bit further down, count to 15, take a deep breath, and continue with those circles all the way up. This arm, I do feel quite a bit of it, that ropey feeling, all the way down to the wrist, because remember, these extensor muscles go all the way through. So we want to work all of that. Now with the forearm, again, facing into me, I worked on the top. Now I'm working more on the side that's facing outward, or the camera in this case, and I'm doing those circles. I really needed that. I can feel that all the way through. When I get to the wrist, I'm actually doing circular motion on both sides. Both sides. And I could really feel that. Then if you recall, we did contrafiber. So the muscles are going this way, the strings going this way, and I'm going to go the opposite way. So I'm going to do that up and down this arm, kind of with that duck bill, and do that cross fiber all the way through. So that cross fiber down to the wrist. My wrist really needed that. I can really, really feel that all the way through. Okay, so that's what we've got for that muscle. And now I'm just actually just pulling through both sides. I'm pulling that all the way through. Good. So we really just did the circular motion, and we did that on the very top, and then we did that more for what was facing the exterior. The same thing here, circles all the way through the top. Exterior, if we felt knotty or P or something like that, we went ahead and held that like a trigger point. Deep breath, and blew that out, and hopefully that could give some release. Now there are some good stretches too if you're having pain in this area. So if I held just my forearm out and I'm bracing with my opposite hand, so I really just brought that arm in and kind of closed it in, and I'm going to do the best, I'll turn sideways so you can see, to twist this arm so my palm is facing away from my face. And I don't want this to hurt, but I want it to work these extensors. So the palm comes in, it's facing me. Now I'm going to turn it away from my face as much as I can. And obviously with my elbow anchored, I really just have to work this, and then I can turn it the opposite way as far as it can go. So my thumb faces outward. So I'm doing the palm away from my face, and it's really just this forearm, those extensors that I'm working, and then to go the opposite way. Okay, and I'm pulling this in. This is actually a great exercise when you first wake up. If you're having problems in the forearm, you experience what they call tennis elbow or strain there. So a 10 count, 1, 2, 3, twist it, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the opposite direction. Thumb out, 10 count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that is working. That same, you may start to feel that. Okay, and we want to balance out. So we're going to do that on the other side. I'm going to anchor, bring that palm straight in, turn that palm out as much as I can. and do that 10 count. 5. Keep breathing. And then the opposite direction. Get that thumb. So I'm kind of almost flexing, like I want these fingers to reach the camera, but I can't extend the elbow. So I need this rotation to really happen strong. And that is a good exercise and stretch for those as well. As is, sometimes when you experience extensor problems, tennis elbow, those muscles may hurt actually even more in the morning. They need to warm up a bit. So that particular exercise may be good a little bit as the day goes, but you start to feel some soreness. When you first wake up, actually just dropping the arms because you are experiencing pain could be very helpful. And you actually should feel the pain decrease as you do this. So a simple just drop. Now it's an intentional drop, right? So I'm just standing upright and I'm purposely just letting that weight fall 10 times. Can start to loosen up and decrease any pain or discomfort in that elbow. I just did 5, but you would want to do 10 other side. Good first thing in the morning, because we're not really overworking or extending them. We are just letting this muscle drop. We're letting that muscle drop, and we're trying to increase its mobility. You can do both at the same time if you like, just, and almost as if I'm slightly shooing something away, but I'm really letting just the weight loosen up those muscles. And a 10 count to drop. Very, very useful for that area as well. So it's not a whole lot, though there are many things you can do. There are stretches you can do up against a door where you're kind of almost counter, you're up against a doorway and pushing, and I'll be happy to pre-record some of those so you can see. But what we're trying to work is focus just on the muscles here, and we're trying to really get them to engage. So the dropping of the elbows, that work that we did on either side, the twisting, right? So we're anchoring that, but we are making this really be the action that helps the elbow very much. I think we take for granted how much work our forearms do. So even if you're with me now and you pinched on the side, as you do these circles, if you feel that it's rubbery or any tension, so we're pinching in, we're not just rubbing the top, we're trying to look for something, we realize that we do need to relieve these muscles that extend from the elbow. The reason we have pain, or what's tennis elbow, painters can have it, carpenters can have it, weightlifting can have it, is that we extend these and the root, or it originates the elbow. So if these are inflamed, if we don't bring that inflammation and tension down, it will radiate and cause that pain in tennis elbow, and sometimes will limit mobility. So this routine that I decided to go over today is to help with that. So the circular motion, the cross fiber is really, really important. The stretching, thumb away, and then as much. So I'm still getting the palm away, but you see the two different directions that I'm doing, and just that weight dropping the elbow to relieve that. Shaking those out, letting it rest. If you are in recent tennis elbow sufferer or experiencing sharp pain in the elbow laterally, because there's something called golfer's elbow, and that would be medial or inside of the elbow, believe it or not. But these exercises are more specific for if we're dealing with the muscles on this side, and the pain would be on the lateral side of your elbow. That's how we differentiate. Can also limit your mobility. Okay, remember these extensors go all the way down, so if you have pain along the way, it could still originate with that elbow. So to help with that, how about we close out with some exercises you can do. This is the only ball I could find. Tennis ball is absolutely fine too, but there are exercises you can do to help strengthen your wrist, and really it is just rolling a tennis ball, I'm applying pressure. As if this ball wasn't here, I could have fallen forward. So I'm applying pressure and letting that ball go from kind of the end of my fingertips and roll so that my wrist will hang. So I'm rolling it, putting pressure, and I will let my wrist hang over the edge. Then I will rock that side to side. Okay, so it's going to roll, my wrist hangs, and then I roll it side to side. And I want to let my fingers relax so that I'm really getting just to the wrist. I can still roll forward and back. The motion should kind of tell you what kind of pressure. I could do it side to side carefully. I could rotate the wrist a bit just on that ball. But I'm really just trying to release the pressure on the wrist. Lacrosse ball is great for this too. So it's a forward motion with the ball, the wrist just hangs, and I'm doing a side to side or continuing a forward motion just on the wrist. If because of tennis elbow we're having kind of pain on this side, I would just change the position of the hand. So I roll, I get to that point, I can let the hand hang a bit, and I can do that side to side. I can even do a circle. And that's really going to work into, I can actually feel some clicking in my wrist because I do have some weak muscles there and some tension. What we do to one side, we want to do to the other. So that forward roll, let the wrist hang. I can lean forward a little bit more. I can roll side to side. It's actually pretty relaxing. This might be good for before sleep. Again, take that ball, forward roll, let the wrist, fingers are kind of hanging, and I'm just doing, I can even do circular, and I can do that on the side as well. So I let that, and I let the hand glide through. That's because I want to add pressure here, right? We don't want this to be too light. We want to actually control. My wrist hangs now this way, and I can do circles. This one is extremely therapeutic to me. This one actually feels really good. It makes me a bit sleepy. I have seen quite a bit posts of people, many of us struggling with insomnia for so many reasons, right? We could have had this problem before. So techniques like this, where it's just this rolling of the ball, if you find that in a particular area it's therapeutic to you, now I'm just putting my palm up and just rolling almost the whole arm on there. If there's any portion of that that's therapeutic, remember that. Use that for right before bed, right? Some relaxing music, low light, and if just rubbing on the wrist. This is also effective on the feet. We haven't done the feet yet. Utilize that option as well. So I'm making circles again. Can do both hands. Let them hang, and then go in between both. Okay, really, really therapeutic. The wrists offer a lot of relief, but many of our muscles, since we're focused on tennis elbow today, are extending all the way through, so they pass through to the wrist. So we shouldn't be so quick to dismiss, I feel the pain here, so clearly this is the only place to work, right? That's not how muscles work. They're connected all the way through. So these other techniques may be very, very helpful. I think I'm going to steal this one away for my nighttime routine because that really is super relaxing. The reason I say something like a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, is they don't give. And that's what we want. We want to avoid just any type of, ball that, like a stress ball that might give in too quickly. We want it to work through those muscles. So we addressed some surface level ideas to help with the tennis elbow. We discussed what muscles are involved. We went over the fancy name of it as well, and worked through some techniques, circular motion all the way through on the very top. We also went exterior because that's where those extensor muscles are. We talked about some stretching, and you can of course watch this video again. I'll post it to stay. Some drop exercises that can really help the elbow and extensors, and we closed out with some stretching, and we actually did that whole routine no lotion because we did target some trigger points, and so usually not having any additional oil or cream just heightens your sensitivity to be able to feel those little knots or like we said, extra ropey areas of muscle to identify. It's always a pleasure, and for those that were able to join, I really appreciate your time and your support. Again, Cindy Velez Mejia, LMT of Oklahoma City. Always state on these that as much as we love what we do, of course, if there's any contraindications or reasons that you should not receive massage or not do a certain modality because of restrictions, that always takes precedent. Some have commented it's just relaxing to watch these sessions, so maybe that's a way that we can help. Really appreciate everyone's support in this time. We always hope that you are safe. Licensed massage therapists are slowly and in some more aggressively able to return to providing this therapeutic help to people, and we hope that that continues to go well and everyone stays safe. I am always very humbled when individuals ask how they could donate or support what I do, so I'm happy to post in the comments. Donations are gladly and very much appreciated. I'm on what I call a dollar a view campaign, something as simple as $1 for viewing. If you liked what you saw or is beneficial is great. Sharing is always fantastic so that individuals may be experiencing something like this could utilize it later. So if you find it unable to donate, thank you so much for that. Definitely are able to utilize that, and I love sharing my knowledge, my passion for help and people this way as well. I do have a great network, and I co-sponsor with a fitness trainer as well, Jerome. If you've not already followed him, I'll put his content and I share it on my page as well. He does wellness sessions on Wednesday mornings and Saturday mornings. So as he helps to take care of the body both in and out, we support each other, and he encourages guests to come see me for some self-care and relaxation. Massage Intuition is always thinking of ways to do more, so please look forward to seeing more YouTube videos and looking to offer support to individuals. You're having difficulty sleeping? If there's a way that I could arrange a phone call with you, a video chat, maybe go through some techniques that could get you to sleep, I'm going to start offering that and be happy to help as well. Your health and wellness matters so much. So thank you again for joining in with Massage Intuition this week. Have a great week. Next week we'll meet again. I think I have some ideas of what I'd like to cover, but I'm always open to your feedback, to your comments, to your suggestions and areas that you might need help. So thank you again, everyone, for joining. Please share and provide me feedback. Thank you in advance for your donations and support. Have a great week.